put out a tweet saying we are live. So hi guys, Hiko Simon, how you doing, man?
I'm good. It's good to be back, man. Good to see you.
Long time no see. Now you just, I got to tell everyone, you guys, you just woke up from a nap, so
I've just had a really busy day, but in a good way.
What is this Sun Wolves behind you? I haven't seen your room in a while. My room's a wreck. Look at this. This is back from vacation. This destruction here.
I'm the same. I'm back from vacation too.
Yeah. Have you moved? Or not, or just room?
No.
The room seems a little bit empty.
Sorry, the room seems what?
A little bit empty. Something missing back there? Some on the wall?
It's actually, normally I would sit further back, but the thing is, I've kind of rejigged the background. So I rejigged the room that I'm in, the office, a little bit. So actually, I'm currently using my iPhone ear thing, and I have to sit this close to the screen. I can't stretch back any further than this.
Why?
Because it's too short.
Oh.
I've got it plugged straight into the computer, so I can't sit back. So I'm super close compared to normal, which probably changes all the proportions of the screen a little bit.
I can see the hair follicles on your skull.
Yeah. Well, that's good because there aren't many of them left. I say take a photo.
Your hair is usually shorter, cut, really shaved usually, right? Isn't it? A little bit long.
Not shaved, but I keep it pretty short. It's probably due for a trim soon.
And you have a bit of a what is that called?
5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock shadow. Thank you.
We're well up to about a 10 o'clock shadow now.
What is the Sun Wolves behind you?
The Sun Wolves. They are the They are the Japan team, the representative rugby team in the Super Rugby Championship, which involves New Zealand, Australia, South African rugby teams. And they actually kicked my home team's ass when the Auckland Blues came to Tokyo the other day. So my son's become a big Sun Wolves fan, and I figure I might as well support them since they earned it by killing my own team.
The Sun Wolves are, I get it, Sun being Japan.
Probably. But also the fact that when they played at Shibunomiya, it was on the ground. It was 44 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
On the ground, which is why the New Zealand team just completely collapsed. They would have won normally by 50 or 60 points, but
really?
They just fell apart. And it was probably the heat.
So now, what's the temperature? It's winter now. It's winter now,
though. In New Zealand, it's winter now. Yeah.
All right, great.
So
let's say hello to some of the people here. So I see Simon is here. Sar Simon, I can never say his name. 28172.
Yeah.
Miss Hanake is here. Hey, Miss Hanake. Haven't seen. Of course, Hugh James says, Miss Hanake, shit, I haven't seen your videos in fucking years. Why do people say that? I mean, people need to learn some common sense manners. You don't have to tell people you don't watch them anymore. Like these weird compliments. You get this. Hey, I haven't watched your video for years. You don't have to tell me that.
I get, you look really good for a fugly bald guy and stuff, which is like, yes, I don't. People say weird compliments. Yes.
I was trying to explain Breaking Bad to a student, so I thought I'll just show them the trailer. And in the trailer of Breaking Bad, it's actually selling the DVD. In the first episode 1 of season 1, he turns 50 and he has a bowl of I guess scrambled eggs on his plate, and his wife has spelled out 50 in bacon.
Yeah. Right?
And he's eating that, and his son turns to him and says,
what
does it feel like to be old? And that guy's actually, I think, 61 now.
Brian Cranston.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's aged well. He's on a trajectory I think a lot of us would like to be on.
But he must have been about 50 when that movie was actually shot, or that scene was shot. But
yeah.
I don't feel old yet. So I'm 50. I'm going to be 50 soon.
Oh, congratulations. Or not. Well, okay, well.
I forgot, you're like in your 30s, right?
No, I'm 41.
You're 41, okay.
I'm still a spring chicken compared to you.
I think Unrest is like 35 or something.
Okay. He's 35 now. It's kind of funny because
it doesn't make sense, does it?
It is weird, isn't it? We've been doing this basically now for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
So you were 40 and I was 30 when we started. Unless it was like a snot-nosed 23-year-old, dork.
I guess so.
I mean, Sam was practically out of high school, and that was why we kind of gave him a pass. But he's fucking now 30 years old, right?
Is he 30? Must be almost.
I think he's getting up to 30. So basically, it is funny. All these people who I still think of based on when I first met to know them.
Kind of lay off Michaela because she was a young girl, and you could never say anything negative about a young girl.
You know what? She must be. I mean, again, it's not polite to think about women's age, but she must be about 35.
That's old in women's years. Right?
I think you're being sexist now. I think you're being unfair, double standard against women there. Nothing wrong with being a 30s woman, but I must admit, you raise an interesting point that never occurred to me before. That I still think of a lot of people in the same terms that I think of them from when I first met them, which now is like more than 10 years ago.
I guess I must have you in your 30s, and that's why I'm thinking you're.
And I always think of you as the 40s guy, and you always think of me, I guess, as the 30s guy. And I think of a lot of those guys as, you know, dorky 20-year-olds that I hope do okay in life. But truth is, they're kind of past judgment.
She was like 17 when I first saw her, and she must be 27 or something.
Who's that?
Miss Hanake.
Oh yeah.
I think she was in high school when I first saw her in the beginning. Like literally, I think about 9 years ago.
It's scary, isn't it? Yeah, time flies. Time flies. Well, I mean, lucky for us, we never created the false expectation that we were going to be perpetually young. We set up as prematurely aged people. So I think we set ourselves up in the best possible way for a prolonged career in this genre. But yeah, it's kind of funny how I've slipped into your role. But I must admit, I don't think of you as anything like 50. It is kind of.
I don't feel that. I remember. Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was 19 or 20 years old, I was working.
It's better be funny. I'm gonna sue for false advertising.
I was 19 or 20 years old, and I was working in New York City for a publisher. And at about the same time, there was a kind of a period of time where my dormitory or my apartment, the lease had run out, and I was without a room. I had no place to live for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And I asked my boss, "Can I just sleep on the floor of the office for 2 nights?" Right, and she said no, because she'd only hired me like a month before. She didn't know me.
Yeah.
So no big deal. I don't remember what I ended up doing, but the same thing happened the next year, and I didn't even think of asking her, but she knew, and she knew me by then, and she knew the same situation was coming. So she said, "Why don't you just stay at my place for a couple nights?" And I worked with her every single day, right? Yeah. So we had a very good rapport. So I stayed I slept on her couch. She had a pull-out couch. And she was 50, okay?
Yeah.
She was 50, so she's my age, what I am now.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, because she walked out to say goodnight.
She's so old, she couldn't possibly even think about that sort of thing.
Yeah. So she came out, and she's kind of nice body and everything, but she's 50, right?
Right.
And she was wearing a long T-shirt, like to go to bed. And she made me really nervous because she came up to my bed, the couch, and I was there, and she was like, just sat on the edge of it, and was just chatting with me in a very casual way, and I was really scared, like she was going to try to.
An old person was going to attack you.
Yeah, I was thinking this old woman is going to try to have sex with me, and that's disgusting. But now I'm thinking, 50's not bad. Yeah, a 50-year-old woman sexing these days, I guess. I mean, but I don't know. I don't. My wife's 10 years younger than me, so. I don't see that, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't feel that old. I'll tell you, for me, I'm still in good shape. I can still do 100 push-ups a day, 10 pull-ups. I still feel young and vivacious. Wow. But
well, there we go.
But I guess I'm going to be old soon. So
I guess you're going to be the person in the long shirt sitting on the end of the sofa,
freaking women out. So I hope he doesn't try to have sex with me.
Oh my God, he's 50. That's
I guess I can't be wearing. I mean, look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Marvel T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, basically, just man-child is the title.
I shouldn't be wearing this shirt, right?
Well, that's right. It's
what do old people wear? I don't even know what they. I don't even know. My wardrobe's completely gone. I'm going to throw the whole thing out. I don't even know what old people should wear. What should I wear? Does anyone know?
Wear whatever the point is. I think once you get
maybe T-shirts without any pictures on them. That's it.
No, well, in a way,
V-necks maybe.
I think the characteristic of people when they reach that 50s threshold is they stop giving a shit, and that can be good and bad. You know what I mean? You know how old people just wear crazy shit sometimes, and you think, why are they wearing that? And you sort of realize they don't care what people think of them anymore. You get to a certain point where they feel like they don't need to dress up to impress society anymore. And they wear what they continue to think is cool, even if society's moved on. So, I think we're not fully into that sort of a realm, but I think probably if you're wearing that T-shirt when you're 70 years old, it'll be a little bit like when you see a 70-year-old person wearing some crazy shit now and thinking, oh my God, what is he wearing? It'll be like that. But I think you're still safe.
But yeah, someone just said you're only as old as you feel. And yeah, it's true. I don't feel old, but I still get the comment like, oh, you're old, especially when someone disagrees with something I say, that they attack you with that. Shut up, old man. For example, when I made those videos about
fax it to me, that's what I say. Fax me your response.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, what age are you not allowed to talk about something? Do you remember years ago when the Mira Canada Gen 3 what was it called? Scandal?
Taboo topic number 4.5. Yes.
What?
Taboo topic number 4.5. Yes. Mira, let's open that file.
About 5 years, and I remember making a few videos on it, and at the time I thought it was kind of funny, and I made fun videos. You know,
yeah.
If you watch the videos, they're not really serious, but they were, you know, of course I did say some maybe some harsh opinions or truths, but I also said, like, they were kind of funny to make. The whole thing was funny.
Yes.
So, anyway, I got these comments. You're too old to be talking about this.
It started.
Like, when is the age? And she's such a young girl. You're attacking a young girl. She's like, it's like she was a teenager or something.
Basically, they were pulling out the dirty old man defense. It's creepy and weird that you're so obsessed with
it. You have to feel sexually interested in someone for that to work, and I've never been, you know, that's never been my relationship or attitude. I don't think anyone's really. And she's not a sexual. She doesn't have a sexual persona on the internet. That's not what she's about. She's more of a provocateur.
Well, although there again, I mean, do you think that people have no, I don't even want to go in that direction about what people think about you. Well, why not? I mean, I don't know. But so someone we have the the people, the triggers have been triggered in the comments. You just had to say those 4 letters. And here we go. We have to say, I got said.
You're a queen, Muslim trader, never ever Japanese citizen deport kebab. Joe Shepard, you wrote something annoying on a video recently. Oh yeah, you know what he wrote? I remember. He said I was religious.
Well, you are in a way.
How am I religious?
You have affirmative and ideological thoughts about religion, which I don't have. I mean, to me, being atheist is in itself just the same as being a religion. You affirmatively think that God doesn't exist. That is an affirmative religious thought. I don't give a shit. See, I don't have a strong opinion on the subject matter. So I consider you more religious than me, even though you're an atheist, and I think God might exist. I think you're more religious than me.
Because I think that God doesn't exist.
Because you have you affirmatively and with conviction think that atheism is correct.
No, I just think that God is ridiculous. The idea of God is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like aliens.
Well, that's a conviction. That's a conviction. That's a belief, which is to me the same as believing in a God, as believing affirmatively that there isn't a God.
You're one of those people.
I'm one of those people.
Being an atheist is just like believing in God. Yeah, I've met you before. but let's not get on that branch today, because that's another. We should do a whole episode on that. However, oh, I gotta push something. Pepper, the robot.
Yes.
So Pepper. About a month ago, I did a video about and I made it a month ago.
Oh my god, no! Is Pepper Muslim?
Yeah, no, worse than that. Pepper is a Starbucks coffee maker now. Pepper has been trained to make coffee.
Yeah.
At SoftBank, and if you go to SoftBank, she'll identify your face, she'll remember your order, and then when you come back, she'll say, "Would you like another cafe or cafe au lait, or whatever?" So,
you, if the coffee's good and she remembers me, I say fire all the people now.
She's doing now. Yeah, you're right. Well, how hard it is to make a cup of coffee, right? But I made a video about it on my Japanese for Morons channel, which I revived, and I made 4 J-News this week on that. So if anyone's interested in learning Japanese, go over there. They're very useful for those of you who are studying Japanese. But today I saw that Pepper has also been trained to be a Buddhist monk.
Yeah, do funeral ceremonies. Well, but you think about it as well. Again, I mean, the main income that a lot of the Buddhists get, like there's all sorts of different sects of Buddhism, right? But basically, of course, being a protected religious group in Japan after World War II, the Americans came in, freedom of religion for everybody when they ended Seichido. They brought in the American concept of all donations to religious groups being tax-free, right? Any business being run by a religion or any money received by a religious person is tax-free. So it's all, in the pocket income. And one of the main sources of income that Buddhist groups get money from is funeral related, either doing the funeral ceremonies where, someone will quietly go and pay a big wad of, notes to the priest, Or they'll pay a monk to go and stand in a big crowded train station, like the Royal train station or Shinjuku train station, and they'll just stand at one of the busy exits, like holding, in memorial of the person, sort of just standing there with the big hats.
I've never seen that in Nagoya.
Really? You see them all the time in Tokyo.
Really? Never seen that in Nagoya.
But the point is, paying someone
to weddings here.
So basically, to have someone, have a monk stand in a public place saying prayers in memory of the family member that died, people will pay a lot of money for that, and it's good money. So again, and there aren't so many priests to go around. I have friends whose dads are Buddhist monks. I know that everyone has this idea that a Buddhist monk is supposed to be this kind of stoic, frugal kind of Middle Ages, sort of Catholic monk image. In Japan, no way. My friends who were like the sons of of Japanese Buddhist monks, they were rich. I mean, they were really rich.
I've seen so many Buddhist monks driving Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, Ferraris, Mercedes-Benzes. They go up to Kabakuras. And this is the other thing as well. They're not chaste. There's no rule in Japanese forms of Buddhism that you can't have sex or anything. They go to Roppongi. They go out to the girly bars. It's all tax-free money. It's awesome. So look, if you can get a bunch of
vegetarians, they eat meat.
Yeah. Well, again, there are different sects and different sort of things. Traditional Buddhism, you're not supposed to eat meat, but of course these guys are eating yakiniku at the Kabakura. So if you can send a whole bunch of robots out to go and collect all of that tax-free money. Again, I'm being cynical about religion a little bit, but hell, you mass produce those things. It makes complete sense to me. There's nothing, of course there'll always be groups that'll say that's not compatible with the religion, and some that say that it are, but it's totally natural to me, if you understand how Buddhism works in Japan, that they'll have pepper robots out there doing funeral ceremonies and standing in front of train stations.
Wonder how that's going to work. By the way, my channel is called Japanese for Morons. It's just for language now. Yeah. And I've moved the J News over there, and I got a video on pepper over there. So
pepper's awesome, but pepper and religion, I'm not so sure. But I guess the one thing I guess I respect about robots is, what's kind of funny. People tend to.
That sentence sounds so funny. What I respect about robots.
Yes, what I respect about robots is that you tend to assume that they're not coming at you with an agenda, even if they are. I mean, you can program them to have any sort of an agenda. But there is this thing when you're dealing with people. Lately, people are so weird. You just sort of don't trust them. Whereas the idea that you can have a robot connected to the internet and just ask them like questions, like Wikipedia, and learn stuff. So the idea before, when I said we're sort of poking fun at the mirror thing, still talking about being Muslim, but actually, if you have a bunch of pepper robots who you could just ask random questions about, tell me about Islam, and tell me about Catholicism, and tell me about Buddhism, that might actually be really, really awesome to go up to your Starbucks thing and tell me, hey, actually, how does Islam work? Rather than having a bunch of ignorant, people sort of hysterical groups on the internet. If you have a robot, the presumption is that they're not going to get onto your agenda or try to do anything like that. So actually, I'd be all for Muslim peppers everywhere, just to educate us.
Explain it.
Yeah.
By the way, you have Netflix, right?
I do indeed.
There's a great documentary comedy show about Muslims, about comedy in the Muslim world.
Yeah.
Check it out. I just started watching it today. It's pretty interesting.
What's it called?
Yeah. I don't remember because it was in Japanese, and I'll tell you how I found it. Someone suggested a comedian called Sebastian.
Yeah.
I typed in Sebastian, and that came up, and I was in my subway, so I just clicked it quickly without.
I mean, have you seen the Aziz Ansari, Master of None?
Oh, I love that show. Great show.
Well, I mean, half of that show is about him being a Muslim in America, growing up, and the episodes he had being a kid, right?
Yes.
And it's not about being a Muslim.
His parents are really on the show, right? Have you seen that?
Oh, those real parents.
Those are his real parents.
That explains why they're such terrible actors. I figured they must be. You wouldn't choose people like that. Yes. And even the mother, she's always, you can tell, she's just really, everything is so forced and deliberate, but you can kind of tell, oh, that must be the real mum. Oh, that's so cool.
Let's give our subscribers a real conversation here.
Okay, but just coming back to that, though, I mean, again,
Muslims.
But that's kind of the point. The robot Muslim pepper, the Japanese robots and so on teaching us religion. I don't know. Whenever Islam comes up in the news, it's so extremist and fringe and weird, and it's like the whole world is alt-right. In the Muslim world, there's a billion people, and it's mostly people like that guy making that awesome TV series, talking about normal sort of lives. It's not weird that there are Muslim comedians. It's like you watch it because it seems strange.
It is weird in the Muslim world because apparently
the Muslim world
have a concept of stand-up comedy. At all.
The Muslim world, you got India, 1.2 billion people. You have Indonesia, 250
but they don't have that culture like Japan. If you
wait a minute.
Japanese,
Indonesia has everything. Indonesia has variety TV shows, comedians, musicals, karaoke.
No, but they don't have the concept of the stand-up comedian. America has only two original. They've only created two original culture or two original. What's the word? Two original things have come out of America. One of them is jazz, and the other one is stand-up comedy.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, there we go.
Rock and roll came from England and combined everything else.
Manzai.
It's the birthplace. It's the birthplace of two genres, and one of them is stand-up comedy. And
the concept of a comedic monologue. I mean, Japan had rakugo. That's stand-up comedy.
It's sit-down comedy, and it's a storytelling comedy. It's very different. It's kneeling down.
But stand-up comedy can be storytelling comedy. I mean, the idea that I'm sorry,
but it's not. You don't have the same.
You don't
have nightclubs. You don't. I mean, you can't go anywhere. And they don't have stand-up comedians in Japan.
You're such an imperialist. You're such a cultural imperialist. America gave the world.
Only two things. I'm only claiming two things. How is that? How about?
I'm glad that you're not claiming
democracy. That's pretty. Give us two things. Give us jazz and stand-up comedy.
You can have jazz. I'm not going to argue with you about jazz.
But no. I mean, you're right. Every country has some kind of funniness in comedy, but there's no comedy club. Like, okay, you go to Tampa, Florida, where I was. There's like 2 comedy clubs there.
Yeah.
You go to Los Angeles, there's like 10 of them. Easily. Any city, go to San Francisco, there's comedy clubs anywhere. In Tokyo, there's a comedy club and it's foreigners.
Yeah. Right? Well, yeah.
There's no comedy. We don't have an idea. Let's go out and see comedy tonight in Japan. There's no kind of concept, except Osaka. Osaka does have one. But it's, again, it's a group mix. It's more of an impromptu thing. I mean, not impromptu, improv, I mean.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, so being extremely specific there, the American form of that stand-up comedy. Okay, sure, that's okay. So anyway, so you were about to make a point, which I interrupted.
No, I just said it's an interesting show because they show Muslims trying to do comedy all over the world, and
then you said
explain stand-up comedy to their own people. They have to explain it in like 10 words. They can't just say in English. You say stand-up comedy, and everyone understands.
Yeah.
But in Muslim, to Arabs, you have to explain what it is. You go to a room, and there are many people.
Arabs are a small minority of the Muslim world.
Of course, yes, and that's one of the points is that everyone equates Muslims with Arabs.
I don't, but okay.
You're educated, but most Westerners have no idea.
Well, this is why I think we need to make all the pepper robots Muslims so that people will understand that there's a difference.
And they won't be scared of us. Of Muslims, I mean. Us.
Well, we'll find something new to be scared about. Maybe people will move on. We used to be scared of Catholics, and now we're scared of Muslims, and maybe we'll become scared of robots.
I didn't know people were scared of Catholics because I was raised Catholic. So
I know, and that's why I'm scared of you. I'm slightly nervous every show I come on. I'm thinking, are you suddenly going to procreate and outnumber me?
Kennedy was our only Catholic president, and it seemed to be a big deal at the time. Like people were like, "Oh, he's Catholic." That's like,
well, that's exactly, and then you had Obama, right, who everyone thought was Muslim. I mean, it's kind of fashionable that you vote for the people you're afraid of, which is why I think we'll have a robot president within 30 years. You mentioned that you had a topic or some sort of point that we were moving to. What was that?
No, just the fact that Pepper is now doing funerals.
I know, but then when I was still talking about that, you said we needed to move on to something.
No, I said let's talk to our audience and
oh, that's a good idea.
No, there are some issues I'd like to get out of the way. First of all, let's do a couple things. Every year on the first weekend of September, Hiko and I host a big party in Tokyo.
That is true.
Right? But this year we're not doing it.
Because we are old.
Because we're old. And we both have kids, and we'll get to Trump in a minute. I have something to say.
I blame Trump.
But we are talking to the guys who made the movie Big in Japan.
Yeah, the guy with the underwear and the onigiri head.
Onigiri guy.
Respectable people.
And they plan to debut. They got the money. They made the money. Thanks to us, of course. They reached their goal, and they're going to have the movie shown in Tokyo and in Nagoya too, and hopefully in other cities around Japan and around the world. So we're going to try to base the party around that.
Yep. And so first week of December is what we're aiming for at the moment with doing logistics and so on.
We'll see. We'll do our best, but
we need to get lots of beauty nap ahead of this. There's preparations that you people can't possibly comprehend, but it is going to be probably the biggest and best party we've done so far with many, many beautiful people and possibly some celebrities.
We'll try to get you discounts.
And all that good stuff.
No discount. Let them make money. Let them make some money.
Yeah, in fact, the whole point is this is a product worth watching. We're assuming. I mean, everything I've heard about the documentary.
And I'm going to be in the movie for like 1 second.
Well, there you go. There you go. So,
so that's one thing.
So the party is coming. Yes, indeed. And it's great. It's a great chance to see all you guys, actually.
And worst case scenario, maybe it'll take longer. Maybe we'll just hold it off. Well, we'll see.
Worst case is that Pepper will just take over the whole thing, and we won't even have a place there anymore. Pepper will just host it.
Peppers will replace everyone. So that's one thing.
And Pepper will give everyone Starbucks, and they'll be happy.
The other thing that I wanted to touch upon, Hiko, is I just discovered.
Yes.
As we do this live show, have you noticed the money sign under the live chat area?
I'm like Prince. I like to sing songs about how money doesn't matter. I just
have you noticed the icon?
No.
That's new.
There's an icon under this. I haven't done this live.
Look at the video page for.
I see it.
Look at the comments.
Is this how I send you social welfare checks?
But if you click on that,
click on that.
If anyone clicks on that, you can send a super chat.
Okay, I want to send that. What is
this? You can send this lets people prioritize their questions, so we were forced to answer.
Wow. Okay.
So it highlights their answers, and apparently a lot of people are doing this. I've talked to a few other YouTubers. They keep saying, Victor, you gotta do a live show. You can make a lot of money. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, now I understand just now because we haven't done it since May. This is the last show we're doing.
Oh my God, I can ramp it up. So it says 200 yen, but if I slide the scale, it says 500 yen, 1,000 yen.
$500.
Holy crap!
Isn't that amazing?
And so, and I can attach a message to the money. So this is basically like dollar bills that you put down someone's pants.
Exactly, it's like strippers. We're now strippers.
Yeah.
So someone sent $2. See, music session. Play your guitar, Victor. Oh shit! Now I got to do what they say. Then we're slaves. Hi.
Oh. They turned us into prostitutes.
Hi, Naka just sent me $2, so I gotta play my guitar, but I can't play the guitar.
So you're saying I was not aware of this. Basically, YouTube has made us all into $2 prostitutes. That's what you're saying.
Well, $2. Well, that's apparently our price. I'm sure other people are getting more.
I think you just showed some butt crack there. That actually was legitimate.
The pretty girls are making, they're making real money. This is not even in tune. See, it's not even crap.
That was butt crack, right? That wasn't my imagination. Seriously, I think we should pay them back.
Yeah, we should. I'll tell you what, Ty. I will practice something for next time. Oh, there we go. It's better, but no, it's really out of tune.
Can you play anything? I'll sing and you can play. Although
it's out of tune. It would take time.
Don't worry, I'm out of tune too. It'll work.
It's really. Hold on.
Yeah. Tay Nakamura recognizes the bad tuning of your guitar.
See, it's really out of tune.
Yeah, it's a bit of. You can just say that you specialize in grunge. I think that would the Seattle sound. You never have to tune the guitar. Oh, that almost sounds good there a minute.
Almost. There you go.
That almost sounded good. That's great. Yeah.
Almost. It's out of tune. I can actually
guitar. Well, so they're gonna make us into $2 prostitute dancing monkeys.
I sent $100 to myself. Damn, that sucks.
You sent $100 to yourself?
I don't know how I did that. I didn't mean to.
So it's gonna deduct. Well,
it's going to take 5% off.
That's not smart.
Myself. No, I didn't. I hope not. Anyway, so that's something else new. But more importantly, actually, I didn't mean to talk about that. What I want to talk to you about is YouTube has become extremely strict with their friendly advertising rules.
Yeah.
I got a notice the other day, and I put it on my Facebook. 25 of my videos were flagged as advertiser unfriendly, including my last video.
Which was about what?
which is me sitting in front of the camera talking about my vacation for 40 minutes. But during it, I talk about white supremacists and Trump, and maybe I said the word fuck. So, you know, you can't talk to the camera anymore. It's really, really constrictive. And, you know, it's not a big deal because instead of making $5, I'll make $1, you know.
Yeah.
But, which is not, you know, of course, we don't make these videos for that anyway, because
I do remember when the adpocalypse started, how a lot of people were saying
the adpocalypse,
the withdrawal of advertising from my boring or inappropriate video or whatever is suppression of my free speech, and Google has to be a funding platform for me to say and do whatever the hell I want, which I never really went along with. But I guess that's because we're so old that we started out doing this when no one was paying us anything for it anyway, right. And the money was always, you know, a hobby bonus for us. But there are a lot of people now who started out on YouTube from when it already was paying and have actually crafted entire incomes and, you know, so on around it, where this actually, is much more disruptive for people, I guess, who see this as something more serious. And YouTube, I must admit, YouTube really has encouraged creators to take this seriously, right? They you know, there's a lot of people who really aim to make a life wage out of it. And
somebody send us $1.
Sorry?
Van Dyke sent us $1. Thank you, Van Dyke. Nice help.
How do I close this? This is another thing. I accidentally set it up, but now I want to close it. There's no easy way I can see to close it.
Thank you. You said I missed. I didn't miss it. I just.
I'm just going to refresh the page. It's kind of scary. But
okay, so here I did a video teaching. This is completely true. It's 1 minute long, and it teaches the expression "itadakimasu and gochisousama deshita." That's all.
Yeah.
And I got flagged.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I guess this is the next stage of progression of whitelisting and making advertisable content. You know, in the first instance, YouTube was, you know, putting random ads against all videos. And at first, YouTube was just getting, you know, a little bit of money and not enough to make a profit, and nobody was getting paid. And then when they encouraged more advertisers, they started to share the money that they were starting to make. But, you know, in order to get more advertisers now that the advertisers are becoming smarter and saying, I don't want my ads put against these sorts of videos, you know, at the same time as YouTube is legitimately, I think, doing a lot to support creators to make better quality content. Yeah, now creators also have to be conscious of where the money is coming from, you know, and it's natural, I think, that, you know, the advertising companies are going to want Google to use all of their analytic capabilities to actually make sure that they're putting, you know, that they have some say in what their ads are being put against. So yeah, we lose a little bit of our freedom if we want to get the ad money at the same time. Sure, and the same, if you're doing it for the money, you got to make content that people contributing money want to put the ads next to. I think that's just a natural progression.
It's fair, and I'm not too upset about it because most of the videos flagged were videos that are J News videos, and they were talking about some kind of, you know, someone died or something. So I understand that, and they're not getting the views, so it's not like I'm losing money anyway. Yeah. But it's just, you know, it's a little disappointing that, you know, in the future I know that I'm going to talk about some subject that I think is important.
Yeah.
But it's going to be automatically flagged. And here's a problem. The other day I did a USB mic box opening and test.
Yes, I saw that one. It was.
I have that mic at the school. I don't have it here. I'm using the
Samsung, same as I'm using.
Samsung mic here, which I like.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. And it's $50 and it's portable. But anyway, I made the box opening video and I put it up one night and then I went to bed.
Yeah.
And it had 0 views on it.
Yeah.
The next day, and it didn't even have a title. It just said USB mic. That was the title. I hadn't put anything in the description yet. I hadn't made a thumbnail yet. The next day, I woke up. It was flagged.
Why was it flagged?
With 0 views.
Okay, that's
so
strange.
I sent it to YouTube, and they said they unflagged it, but it took 2 days. So that's a prop. That's a fuck. Okay, there. Now this video is flagged.
Well, it's a customer service issue, but
maybe that's what happens. Maybe I said fuck in the video, and then somehow the YouTube.
Given that it was 14 minutes long, I think it was unavoidable. But here's this also kind of comes to an important point. People who are really making money off YouTube nowadays are not making it off AdSense payments. I mean, nobody.
That's true.
The fact is, even before the adpocalypse, you know. Creators would get together and we'd talk about how some people for a time were getting really steady, 2,000 a month, 1,000 a month, and then all of a sudden that all just disappeared to nothing for no apparent reason. and then it's gone up and down, and it goes through all these things. So all the people who want a stable income off YouTube, they're not doing it based on AdSense anyway. They're doing it off making videos exactly like your USB mic video. And what they're doing is they're putting a whole bunch of internet shopping site links, which are click-through affiliate links, where they'll get commissions and credit for people who click on those links to go and look at the products and pay for it. You know, they're being really clever. They're doing a lot of unboxing videos. They're doing a lot of sponsored videos. They're doing a lot of other sort of stuff, which actually results in much more income, and much more stable income. And granted, it requires you to kind of sell out. But they're interesting videos, and I watch them. I put value on your opinion of a USB mic. And that's
not
actually
none of my opinion on Mira or Trump,
well, yeah.
or religion.
Well, truth is no one's going to put a sponsored link under that. That's the other thing.
True. But here's the funny thing:
yeah.
none of the old Canada Gene 3 videos have been flagged. Isn't that strange?
You know this because you went there and you were flagging, and they just weren't registering.
Now here's the other funny thing. Okay, I got a really hardcore hater on North Devil. Thank you. I got a real hardcore hater on my
Seriously,
Facebook.
I feel like a real low income stripper now. I do. I feel like it's straight into my pants.
You should make us do something when you send us money. But I got a real hardcore hater on Facebook, and he claims that he is responsible for all these flaggings. But of course, he's not, because I'm getting videos flagged. I have videos that I put up on my channel that have 0 views because I put them up just to re-download them again in a smaller format just to process them, because the format's it's a long story. But anyway, they have 0 views and they are getting flagged, even though their titles are just MAH0034 or whatever the name of the file of the file that the camera gives it. So it's just bizarre that this is happening. But you're right. In the end, it's not a big deal because you don't really make your money from AdSense. You make it through Patreon. You make it through sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera. The big guys, the guys who are making their living this way.
So I'm going to come. I noticed one of the comments. Dennis Bauer says YouTube is becoming a Disney Channel. Negativity will be punished. Well, this is the thing. I think a lot of people who have started YouTube in the last 5 to 7 years, where paid, getting money from it's been kind of a given. It feels like punishment to have that taken away. I get that. But the thing is, I don't think you can look at it that way. It's one thing to have free speech on a platform. It's another thing for that free speech to actually earn money from saying whatever the hell you like. I think people are going too far when they're saying that YouTube is suppressing free speech by removing monetization.
If you say something, you're responsible for your words, and I completely understand that.
When you're responsible for your words, I think YouTube deserves a lot of credit for being an amazing free speech platform, actually, in spite of all of the, flagging LGBT videos and extremist videos and all the other controversies that of course, they always have to deal with, including the terrible job a lot of people who work at YouTube have to do of keeping up with the illegal content that gets uploaded up onto the site that they have to catch. Around all of those limitations, I think still, if you're like a political dissident in some country or a minority or whatever, there still is no better or freer platform, I think, than this, where you've got a platform where you can access a lot of people and you can still say whatever you like. But, in fact, sometimes if they remove the ads, I don't think that's the same as censoring. If you say that that's censorship, then you don't know what real censorship is.
Right.
I think people are feeling a bit too entitled to their AdSense money in a way. That I think people have to get a little bit more savvy about how to make their money off YouTube if that's what they're doing it for. Are you doing it because you want to be honest, or you're doing it to make money? If you want to do it to make money, then stop talking about, then focus on what will get you paid. Exactly. If you want to talk about what you want to talk about,
some channels are built on that. And Ban Time,
I get it.
Van Dyke just sent us 10 pounds. I don't know how much 10 pounds is. It's like $15.
Oh, that's it's a lot of money. If you want to do something, wear your bandana.
I gotta get the bandana. But I guess I got it in the next room. Just like.
So, Victor, the man who will do anything for clicks. I'm glad this is on his channel.
I am a prostitute for money. Where do I wear it? Do I wear it here? Hey, I was on I gotta tell you, I was on Live Leak today. I'm addicted to Live Leak. I was on Live Leak, and there's a video titled "Mama, Here Comes That Man Again," and it's a picture of this homeless-looking homeless guy with shorts. He's wearing shorts, and his penis is so large.
Yeah,
and it's coming out of the bottom of his shorts, and it's like flapping around, and he's like trying to push it back in so it doesn't flap out, but it's hilarious. I feel bad for the guy because
I don't know why.
His penis is overly large.
I don't know why you shared that information.
It's
and
just
I don't
so
know,
funny. I mean, I've never laughed at someone else's penis, but this was.
And I want to know if there's some way to unshare information, but we all know that information can't be unshared once it's been shared. So thank you.
There we go. Here's the bandana for Van Dyke. Thank you very much. And he gave me some good information about the microphone, which actually I knew I was using correctly, but anyway, that's one thing I want to talk about. The other thing that I think is very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. And I
60 dance basically.
Okay, Trump. I made a video 40-minute long.
There goes your AdSense again.
No. That's the point. It's not about Trump. It's about reactions to Trump. So I made a video and I talked about Trump and I said, I'm not upset about Trump. And I even defended something.
Fascist.
No, I defended Trump.
Puerto Rican racist. Sorry.
Hold on. So I defended Trump and I said it was silly for the media to demand for him to put down white nationalists. Because we don't need president. Everyone knows Nazis are bad. He doesn't have to say Nazis are bad. Why do we demand the president to say Nazis?
Although he is interestingly ambivalent on the subject, but yes.
But I mean, right? Like you need him to tell you that. Everybody knows Nazis are bad. You don't need the president of the United States to tell you that. You don't need him. So anyway, I just said it was kind of silly for us to look for him for that. So I was kind of defending Trump, and I was saying that I used to be upset, and I'm not upset anymore, and I just don't think about it much anymore.
No.
And I think, and I look to Trump. I look at it as entertainment now.
Yes.
But here's the interesting thing that happened. A woman that I know,
yes,
and I like. I've met her. She was at the party.
No.
She's even a Patreon supporter.
Yeah.
She, and we have a friendly relationship. She actually gave me this, which is full of alcohol.
That's very nice.
Right.
That's kind of suspicious that's full of alcohol. I wouldn't drink anything, but that's interesting.
So she's cool, okay? And she stopped following me on Patreon. She unsupported me. So, I said, well, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Apocalypse. That's the apocalypse.
So I said, well, was it something I said? I said, what happened? Right?
It almost certainly was something you said.
Oh, by the way, notice the live chat. Notice at the top of the live chat now, the comments, the $10 shows for a long time.
Yeah.
It stays there. It buys you a certain amount of time. I guess 10 minutes. I don't know.
We should talk about the bandana or something. Yeah.
But the interesting thing was she said, Victor, I'm sick of talking about Trump.
Thank you.
It wasn't you. And she said, I'm really stressed out.
Yes.
It's really stressing her out.
And that word.
And she said, maybe you're over it. Maybe you're fine. You're able to deal with it. But it's still upsetting to me because in my country we have a lot of white nationalists. Yeah. And it really upsets me that these people are in my. She's not American.
Yeah,
but they're in my country.
Yeah,
yeah. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking, talking, even just mentioning politics will always get people to unfollow you.
Well, it'll have both. It'll draw attention, but it will also polarize, right? And
it's very polarizing.
And that's why advertisers don't like it.
Yes.
But that's why it's good for views. And that's the paradox. If you want the views and you want to have that discussion, you fill your boots. But bear in mind that if people can choose where they put their ads, sure, it's understandable that Pepsi doesn't want to sponsor every rant about Trump.
But what was interesting? What my point on this was not that she wasn't against me because I'm not a Trump supporter. Which would be usually you would unfollow me because I said something bad about Trump. She was stressed out that I didn't care anymore. That I wasn't upset. She's still upset. It was interesting that I lost a supporter because of that. But we had a fun, friendly exchange. She said, "Don't worry, I'll be back. I'm just going to take a break from the Jvloggers." She said everyone's talking about Trump, and she's stressed out right now. So
and I've actually blocked out the word Trump from my Twitter feed. I don't want to see it anymore from other people tweeting it. I'm on the same. I've actually blocked it out. I'm not going to go crazy about it. But look, sex, religion, politics, they are the best subjects for drawing attention. And they are the subjects that will get people the most upset. And that's why they draw attention. And that's why advertisers are sensitive about those subjects. And
I'm fine with that.
You're always making a choice. You want to have these are the most interesting subjects.
It makes you think because our channels are built on interest in Japan, not really on Trump. I think
that's right. And the idea is that we're not the Disney Channel. You will come here and we will talk about things that you won't hear being talked about on your television or stuff like that. But the compromise is that when those television advertisers put ads on YouTube, to the extent that they can, they'll want to put ads against the same content that they'll sponsor consciously on television. And if that means that our conversation, which wouldn't never get on TV, talking about, you know, Muslim peppers taking over Starbucks, then, you know, we'll have the same issue here. You know, unfortunately, people will pay you $10 to do a sexy dance and drink alcohol and wear a bandana. So it's all good. Everything balances out.
Oh, that's strong. Whew. That's really strong. I don't know what that is.
This is like Dutch alcohol. This is KLM.
From Amsterdam.
From Amsterdam. It's probably got marijuana in it.
Marijuana?
Maybe. Well, it's from Amsterdam. So.
Oh, and here's something else. Speaking of the videos.
Yes.
I talked to a person who works at Google.
Yes.
And she told me, hey, Ranman in Japan, how you doing, man? Habusake, yes. I talked to a woman who works there.
Oh, shit.
And we were talking about the flagging.
Yes.
And I said, you know, I said I had read that the people manually.
By the way,
okay,
ACTA, I also prefer the videos that don't talk about Trump, but we'll finish out the thought here anyway.
We'll talk about real quickly. Okay, so someone has to manually. Okay, I'm sorry. Google YouTube does employ people to flag videos, but they're mostly interested in violence and pedophilia.
Yeah, well, they're not actually interested in violence and pedophilia. They actually are interested in stopping it.
Eliminating those videos. That's really their main focus, okay, more than the other stuff. So I'm way down on the totem pole of getting my videos flagged.
Yes.
Okay. So I told her I'd read years ago that people actually need psychological help after doing that job because they get they see things that just cannot erase from their minds, right? Hey, North Devil again.
The thing is that because there are so many, they do this on a human base, and there are so many videos that get uploaded every second, that to track them all with human eyes, I hear that they have to outsource it to the Philippines or something. So basically,
exactly. But she says they do a lot of it in-house too, not just the Philippines.
Well, they started out in-house, and there was so much of it that they had to export it and have it done in the Philippines. But in the Philippines, it's worse because those people are on below minimum wage salaries, and of course, they're not getting health insurance or psychological counseling or anything afterwards either.
But she said they're supplying psychological counseling now.
Well, which they need.
Those people are really fucked up after watching all those videos.
Yeah, and that is a job I could never do, but it does make me wonder, what would a video of people beating up a pedophiliac, would that be flagged?
Probably. Many years ago, after 9/11, I was pretty fucked up. I was mentally in a low place in my life. I was really depressed. I'm from New York, so that
explained it.
It really hurt to see that happen.
Oh, of course, after 9/11, yes. Yeah.
And I started searching for, I don't know why, but I started searching for videos of people getting their head of people getting kidnapped and getting their heads cut off.
Oh shit! You know what? I remember reading.
I don't know why I did that. I was just, you know, it was on the internet all night. I think it was even before.
But there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that, and there were people who were disturbed by that. But I remember hearing about that as a thing. Yeah.
And I watched like, I don't know, maybe 10 of those videos, and it got to the point
where
I was disgusted by the sound. You know, there's a Microsoft player that makes kind of a kind of staticky sound.
Yeah.
That sound alone on the old player is just it makes me it makes my hair stand up. It just and imagine, and I only saw like maybe 10 of them, right? But imagine if that was your job every day.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
You're watching 10 of those, at least 10 of those level a day. People getting burnt alive, or people getting beaten, and little girls getting raped, or little boys getting raped. That stuff will really screw you up. So.
That's right. That's right. And there's a lot of people out there who try uploading that stuff up to YouTube every second, and you know it's a hard thing for them to police it. People get outraged when their videos like they try to create artificial intelligence that can try to recognize these videos and auto filter it. But in the end of the day, you're always going to need a pair of human eyes to make that call, because you know you'll get misidentified videos and people being outraged. But anyway, I feel like the sooner we can put bots on all of this stuff and chase down and bloody do something about the people uploading them, you know, in the first place.
I mean, that's a lot of money that's being spent on just keeping crap off the internet as well. So you're right about YouTube. YouTube they have to have a very safe area. They have to make sure that they're not putting advertisements on those videos by accident, which is what. It's
levels. The first is they're trying to make sure those videos don't get up at all, and then on top of that, for the videos that are left, they have to also keep the advertisers happy. That you know, for all the free speech that YouTube is very good at allowing. Actually, they need to sort out what is free speech that, you know, is okay on the site but not good for advertisers, and what's advertiser friendly free speech. And sure, you know, they're sanitizing content indirectly, and it's kind of an indirect form of trying to drive people towards certain content. But I don't think, you know, censorship isn't what you monetize and what you don't monetize. Censorship is what you're talking about, is getting that illegal, disturbing, you know, stuff that actually messes people up off the site. You know, and at the moment, I think Google is doing, you know, a creditable job at trying to keep up with an almost impossible task of keeping up with those uploads, you know, and trying to keep that stuff off.
Oh, I just got an interesting note from Mr. Boot.
Yeah.
Who said he checked for me, and he said, it's in my video, I showed my parents' bar. They have a really cool bar.
Yeah.
And it looks, maybe they thought I was advertising the bar, or because I was drinking a strong zero on camera.
Well, there you go. I mean, you know.
Could have been that, yeah. So other brands don't want to be, nobody wants to be, you know, Disney doesn't want to advertise a Moana video.
But you know what? Or even just having alcohol.
You're right. Mr. Booth's probably right. It could have been
even
that.
just having alcohol, you know. And this is the thing as well. So real professional content makers are going to always, you know, they're not going to wear branded T-shirts. They're not going to show, you know, and this is true when you do production, when you make a TV show.
Sunwolves is breaking all these codes. You know, I'm like,
it's a sports team. Come on, it's a sports team. But yes, maybe there may be supporters of other rugby teams will be so offended that they will not. Or Hopi the Hopeful Giraffe right behind me. I mean, that's political.
Ken Tanaka.
Ken Tanaka looking for parents. I mean, anything is.
Speaking of Ken Tanaka, here's something really interesting and very cool that you will like. You remember the video he did with the jogger and the Korean woman, and he says, "Hey, where are you from?" She says,
"Yeah."
So, remember that one? So I was watching the Netflix the other day, and they have this show about the something diet, Scarsdale, and not Scarsdale diet, some other kind of diet, San Fernando diet or something.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but Drew Barrymore is the producer and the star.
Swing.
And in the video, she's a real estate agent, and she's showing the house to this white guy married to this black woman.
Yes.
But, you know, mixed couple. Not a big deal, except you don't really see that much in movies. But I thought, okay, that's good. That's, you know, kind of politically correct kind of crap. But no big deal, except I'm thinking that guy looks familiar, and it turns out after busting my head, it's the guy from Ken Tanaka's video.
Well, you know, they're all like that, aren't they? They're all there in Los Angeles. They're all actors and so on. So yeah, good on them. Good on them.
It was really cool to see him. And then I told my wife, because she recognized him too. She goes, "Yeah, I don't remember where I've seen him before." Yeah, it's always fun. Isn't it fun to see some of our YouTube friends make it?
That's exactly it. That's cool.
Yes,
look, they're done good. Yeah.
So that's another thing. But I'd also like to talk about the mirror thing, because people keep bugging us. But maybe there's something else that people have been asking you to talk about.
I see someone paid for you to do another shot back there, by the way. I hate to point that out.
What did they?
$2 from Derek Armstrong to do another shot, which I really wouldn't encourage, and I'm not sure.
This is very cool. This is oh my god, this is disgusting. Look at this.
Yeah, that's a poisonous snake. That's an Okinawan poisonous snake.
And this is from Ren Man in Japan, who's in the comments right now.
What's the alcohol level on that? It's like strong stuff, isn't it? The Okinawan stuff. 40%. 40. Holy shit.
And I have to do a shot.
Oh man! So that's a poisonous snake and 40%.
It's poisonous snake alcohol. And I did this with I drank this with Chris, and I never put up that video, Chris. I'm really sorry.
Thanks, everyone. You're making Victor drink away his ad revenue. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm not gonna. In this video, I already said the word fucking. I'm already drinking it, so this is gonna get no ads at all. This is already flagged. You know, but I understand. That's okay. So here's the other interesting thing about videos. Okay.
Yes.
50 every year. Maybe you know this. He goes, how much money? Let me ask you, how much money is spent on TV advertising every year? You know,
billions.
I know the answer. But
I don't know how much. $50 billion. $50
billion.
Oh, did you say 50 billion? That's exactly what I just pulled out of my ass and said.
Really? You have a very smart ass. 50 billion.
People tell me that. People tell me I'm a smart ass.
Oh my god, that is strong shit.
Well, that's 40 proof poisonous snake alcohol. Holy shit, I can't believe it.
This is what I'm drinking, guys. Poisonous snake alcohol.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Anyway, 50 people. So here's the point. If YouTube can get even 1% of that, it's a lot of money.
Well, that's right. And no one's watching TV anymore, so all the money, all the advertisers know the money's going in the wrong direction. They're trying to figure out how to get it on the internet in the right way.
Brave enough to put all that money into YouTube, into the internet.
Well, the point is that they're putting dribs and drabs into YouTube, but to really go deeper into YouTube, and this is where the conversation is going now, they're saying to YouTube, you've got to accommodate us a little bit more, and you're going to get more of that 50 billion, and that's what's happening right now. And so this is the point. If you play by the rules that the advertisers want, there's more and more money going to be in it. They're going to make it worth your while. And, but sure, you've got to sell out. I mean, that's the definition of selling out. That is accommodating your content and censoring yourself in order to get more of that pie. But that's the game. No one's stopping you from saying what you want to say or putting your videos up. You just got to decide. Do I want that delicious ad money
for YouTube? I just came up with. Speaking to you, do you ever watch the Colbert Show?
Of course.
He says fuck on that show sometimes, right?
All the time, yes.
But they beep it out.
Now they do. Now he's on the Late Show, yes.
Right. So what they should do is create some kind of system for YouTube where you can add
intelligence.
Beeps. Yeah, or automatically beep out any F words and give you the choice. Like, would you like to beep out your F words? And click yes, and then you can go through it and you can adjust it. Add the beeps or not.
Well, okay, I can one up you. One, there should be like a live, easy to click hot button that you can bleep yourself like live as you're saying things. That's one idea. An even better idea. 3 ideas here.
And this is disgusting.
Oh shit, man! Don't drink that stuff anymore. Second idea is that you can have YouTube go back and analyze your audio after the video,
right?
And find all the swear words and bleep it up for you automatically.
That's what I would like.
Third best one is that it will actually real time analyze, and just as you start to say fuck, it will actually recognize through your face and the sound. Artificial intelligence. It's not impossible.
What if I want to say fudge or just? What about FU?
Well, again, I guess you can make the settings, but I guess you've made so many.
That's effing impossible. Is that bad?
You have put so many videos on YouTube that probably if they got one of those artificial intelligence bots to look at all your videos, they can probably tell 30 seconds ahead of time when you're about to swear. They can warm up and know exactly.
Akhtar thinks that's amazing, but I think she's thinking too much.
I don't think she's thinking too much at all. I bet you within a couple of years, well, certainly there's going to be post-automated bleeping of videos. I think it's going to be
already being developed
within 1 or 2 years. But I think real-time bleeping out, I think that's going to happen and be used on television within 5 years. I'll bet you 5 years. I'm pulling that out my ass as well, but as you said, I have a very intelligent ass.
It is very intelligent. Yes. Was there anything that you wanted to, any subject you wanted to broach during this while I drink this disgusting? I think this tastes better when it's fresh, right? Chris.
James O'Hara well said.
Fuck the fucking fucker, says James O'Hara. James, James, good to see you. I haven't seen it. I didn't see the last video.
What I want is Japan-related questions from people now, 5 minutes, and then we'll close out because we always should talk about Japan. Give us some questions. You don't have to pay for them.
We're already at an hour. That's true.
Right now. So just to close out, give us 3 Japan-related topics or questions, and then we'll close out.
Do you have any Japan-related questions, comments? We're not going to talk about Mira.
No, please. No Mira, no Trump. For me, Mira and Trump are both blocked on Twitter.
Really? Is that true?
I don't think I actually blocked Mira, but I just don't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. Liz Grossman, by the way. That is like my...
About that drama, though.
Liz Grossman, that handle name, that's one of my favorite characters ever. And by the way, Northern Devils tried typing in without actually paying you. That's a clever hack there.
Yes.
Liz Grossman is one of my favorite movie characters of all time.
Who?
Liz Grossman.
Who's he from? He sounds familiar.
It's a character that Tom Cruise played in Tropical Thunder.
You know they were going to make a full-fledged movie, but it's something
about Liz Grossman.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would watch that. I thought that was amazing.
No, I feel bad for Tom Cruise because I really like him as an actor, but I the fact that he's a Scientologist, I think, has ruined his career. All his movies bomb now.
I don't know. He still makes good movies though. That's the thing.
I think The Mummy's probably a good movie, but I haven't seen it. But
I don't want to watch The Mummy, but it's got nothing to do with Tom Cruise being a Scientologist. I just don't want to see another Mummy movie. That's just me.
Victor a leak or Auntie Leanna wrote, and then she erased the question. What does that mean? Is Victor a leak?
Message retracted.
Huh?
Okay.
I've never seen a message retracted before. I don't even understand the question.
You can't ask questions. I can't ask for questions and then ignore them. I know, no. So we're looking now.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
we got distracted.
Okay.
So where is it?
Talk about the 2020 Olympics. A couple of people have asked.
Okay, 2020 Olympics. Talk about them. Well, they're 3 years to go. Actually, from 2 days ago, it is exactly 3 years to go. So they're going to happen in no time. Tokyo's totally gearing up for accommodating all the foreigners, and it's actually becoming even more aggressive about, setting up foreigner-friendly accommodation, information. So, it is having an impact on the ground. They improved those crappy uniforms. You remember the former Tokyo governor announced the uniforms, and they look like kind of
I saw them. They were ridiculous.
Yodeling kind of costumes. They've improved those or made them worse, depending on your bad taste.
We could come out against them. She said they sucked.
Yeah. Even the new governor just said those uniforms suck and saved everybody. I think, seriously, 2020 Olympics are going to be the awesomest ever. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Not enough hotels, but they're addressing that. They're loosening the rules around Airbnb. They're legalizing them. In spite of the hotel lobby.
They just made it illegal in my building.
In your building?
Yes. But people started doing it.
Okay, but this is the point. The building owners.
I live in a house, but
the building owners, of course, you can decide if people want to use their rooms as hotels or not. So the point is, but the government setting up a framework to allow people to do it. If the landlords will permit them.
3 old dudes wants. Simon's got a really strange question for you.
Yeah, what's that?
If I was to let a real ripper of a fart out in Shibuya, would anyone notice?
Yes, but they would pretend not to.
Yes.
But they would be upset.
I got a question for you, Hiko. Has your wife ever farted in front of you? You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. I mean,
Well, wait a minute. So in public, no. And she's very militant about time and place. But hell, I don't know, have you ever lived with anybody and not heard them fart?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember.
You lived with?
I don't remember my mom ever farting.
Seriously, if I lived with someone, even for like a week, if I dated someone and they stayed at my place for like a week and I didn't hear them fart, I'd drive them to the hospital.
We were talking about this with my parents, and my mom, someone accused my father of farting. My father said, I didn't fart. And my mother said, your father has never farted in public.
Yeah.
And she was very adamant that it was true.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it. I can't remember my father ever farting in front of us.
So you promised the baby Jesus. That's the test.
Polite person.
Yeah.
I think Yoko farted once, and I was really surprised because it's the first time I'd ever heard her fart, and it was like 8 years into the marriage.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well,
oh my God, you're human.
So James O'Hara,
she laughed.
My wife puts out like edamame, like beans and stuff all the time, and she always looks at me and says, "Not for you." So yes, she says that if she hears you fart, she might alter your diet. So there we go.
Okay, so we're talking about the Japanese first. Any other Japanese questions? Actually, I've donated 3 times trying to get others to join in. Oh, thank you, North Devil. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, very good. Well, look, we're out of time. So look, we're going to be back. I'm going to be in America.
You said 3 questions. That's only 2.
Okay, one more question.
One more Japanese-related question.
Yeah.
Are there feminists in Japan?
Yes, of course. There are feminists everywhere. I mean, that's crazy that there wouldn't be feminists here. And that's kind of a silly question. You should add this point though. The word feminist in Japanese has a different meaning. What's the Japanese word for feminist?
Feministo.
So how does it have a different meaning?
The meaning is different.
How?
It means someone who's nice to women.
No.
Yes. Look it up. I'm sure.
No. So literally, like the
common understanding of the word feministo in Japanese is a man who is friendly towards women.
So this is literally when you ask an old conservative politician, "What do you think of feminists?" Is, "Oh, I love women." That's literally what you're saying.
He's friendly towards women. They're open. Oh, hey, our Gary is here.
It's like Trump doing the thing saying, "Hey, I love women."
Yeah.
that's the Japanese meaning.
They got the best pussy. Whatever.
Really?
Really? No, seriously.
Japanese feminists don't call themselves feminists?
Real feminists also call themselves feminists, but they know what they're saying. I was in a master's program for a while until my accident, and I studied. We actually had a section on feminism in Japan and how in the struggle and how it's quite a bit of a struggle because there's so few of them, and we watched some interviews some documentaries about feminists in Japan and read some of their books.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them, but the movement here is really, I say retarded, and I don't mean it in the Down syndrome PC non PC way. I mean it's slow. It's very slow.
Yeah. It's struggle.
The whole movement is retarded as in slowed down. Yeah.
Well, people always look at it as the West being more progressive and Japan being more regressive. It's not as advanced as, like people say 30 years behind Western feminism, whatever. A really good example actually is the contraception pill. So, until the mid-1990s, the contraceptive pill in Japan was still outlawed. Only 2 countries in the world that outlawed the contraceptive pill were Japan and North Korea. And the Japanese, the LDP politicians who were against the legalization of it, pointed out that the contraceptive pill had enabled the sort of feminist social revolutions in Europe that had disrupted increased divorce and disrupted families and women not wanting to get married. And they thought they didn't want to replicate the sort of social disruption in Japan. And so, the very small number of the struggling feminists of Japan who were sort of lobbying for this, it took 20 years to get the legislation to approve it. But in the same year that the contraceptive pill was finally approved after court cases and appeals and everything in Japan, that it was finally legalized in the 1990s.
Right.
Was also the same year that Viagra was approved, and it was approved. Viagra was the fastest approved drug in Japanese history. They actually they stopped all of the normal 2 or 3 years of trials because Japan is a massive pharmaceutical industry, domestic one. So to enable their domestic drug producers to compete against American drugs, they always make it so that foreign drugs have to go through like a 3-year approval process and trial period before they're allowed to sell in Japan. And that's the Japanese companies make competing drugs before the Western drugs are allowed to start on the market here. But when Viagra came out, the Japanese LDP fast-tracked the approval of it and made this exception that it became the fastest approved drug ever. So like a couple of months apart, you had the female contraceptive pill that took 20 years to get approved, and the Viagra thing, which is supposed to take 3 years and took like 2 months, got approved at the same time. And everyone said, well, this is the state of things. So, Japan is progressing. It's making steps, but it's probably fair to say that they are baby steps.
A couple interesting side notes to that is during the same time before when the pill was not legal in Japan.
Yeah.
It was legal in America, of course.
Of course.
And who is the biggest producer of the pill?
Don't know.
Japanese companies. The Japanese were exporting those pills to other countries, but they refused to sell it in their own country.
I didn't know that.
Here's something else that's pretty funny. How much money does the United States military spend on Viagra?
I think more than they spend on LGBT surgeries, if I recall correctly.
That is true. That is $41 million a year.
Yeah.
That I'm against. I think if we have soldiers who need Viagra, I don't know, man.
Hey, soldiers are people too, right? I mean, everybody's got issues.
Are you paying for their Viagra?
Well, they're employees.
I'm 50 and I don't need Viagra.
Congratulations.
I'm not 50 yet, but I don't need Viagra. I wake up in a tent every morning. I'm fine.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Well, come on. I mean, this is my point. I
get the principle of outrage, but also having grown up in a military family.
Ridiculous. Why are we paying 41 million U.S. tax dollars for Viagra, and we can't pay $8 million for a?
The U.S. is like 500,000 people employed by the military, right? And all of those people live in towns and entire communities that are entirely military, right? And all those people's health care and salary and everything is done by the military.
We just got a note here. Viagra is also used to treat PTSD.
Oh,
okay, maybe that's it.
Well, and maybe as well, impotence being a symptom of that.
I mean, there's also some Viagra then.
Yeah,
having kids is really stressful.
By the way, like Japan also asked a question. Any problems having kids in Japan? Which I thought was
good question. Hiko, I'd like to hear your answer. The question: any problems about having a half kid in Japan?
Not really. There's a thing about naming them and the family registration stuff at the time that they're born is a little bit of a hassle. But I think in Tokyo today, where I am, I've been waiting for the problems to start, given what I've heard from all my friends my age. But I think particularly in Tokyo, really, they don't get a second look. It's like every class at school has multiple half kids. it's really not a big deal, and so far it hasn't really come up. In fact, I don't think my son is even that conscious at all of being half, and he's like, nearly 8 years old now. So for me, it's really surprised me as being not a thing at all. Now he goes to regular Japanese school, by the way.
Oh, really? That was. I was going to say, oh, your kid must go to some fancy.
No, regular Japanese school where if anything within Tokyo, probably fewer foreigners than other parts of Tokyo. But still, in every class, there'll be 3 or 4 foreign kids, or kids with a foreign parent, like half kids, but they're mostly Chinese and Korean half. But there are half Russian kids, there are half Turkish kids. Yeah, it's all good. They all. I've seen nothing.
Me too. I have no problem at all, of course. But my kid's only in nursery school, so.
Yeah, and bullying again. Every week, once a week, you get to go and watch the classes here. The parents are allowed to go to the school and watch the classes. You can
Is your kid blonde?
No, not at all. I mean, my kid actually looks pretty Japanese as these things go. He doesn't. He's not an obvious half-looking kid.
Oh, really? When I met him, I thought he looked like you.
Well, I mean, of course, he's got features like me, but but he's not blonde, obviously. But no, the bullying thing, and again, maybe it's just the age, maybe it's just that he's at a good school where there just isn't a lot of that generally. Maybe that's something to worry about in the future. But at the moment, all these things I was worried about and waiting about haven't happened.
Brown.
Sorry?
Is his hair jet black or is it brown? Light brown?
Not brown, and it's not exactly jet black either. It's sort of, kind of dark brown.
But it's something that a Japanese person might have.
Yeah, it is. I think he's definitely got like sort of darker. He's inherited all the, there's a lot of strong Japanese genes that he's got. You can see in his face and everything resemblance, but he's.
My kid is hairy like a monkey. Right now, well, when they're young, they're really hairy, right?
Of course.
My cousin's kid was born and showed us a picture of the baby just born. Swear to God, that kid was so hairy. But now she's like 7 years old and she looks normal.
So I'm pretty hairy too, but it's all white hair against white skin, so it doesn't really stand out. But I would really pity anyone who had black hair, like to the extent that I have like white hair.
Well, his arms are fine, but his back is like he's got a nice.
But that's got nothing to do with how he integrates in society.
I think that disappears when you get older, though.
Hope so.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, we should go.
We should go. Yes, but it was great to see you again on 2.5 Years.
Indeed, it's been too long.
And you guys, but we only got 36 thumbs up, so I'm kind of disappointed. We have 112 people watching, which is
especially after all the good service.
We talked about some pretty good subjects. I think that most people won't even talk about.
I agree. I mean, we're going to lose all the ads, but we have your good support in order to enable us to do it.
I'll have to buy you a beer with some of the money that Van Dyke sent us, and of course North. Already Northwest, was it? What was his name? My God. North. I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name now because I drank your shots that you ordered me.
Well, that's what it does. I think you get a pass. You can find well. Northern Devil. North Devil. Was it? Northern Devil. Northern Devil. But anyway, no. This is cool. And yes,
we can't do this again for a while, right?
We can't. I'm going to be in Seattle, not next week, but week after next. But next weekend, I'm flying over there.
Are you going to be meeting YouTubers out there? Or?
I would like to. I did last time, but I was there for 2 weeks last time. This time, I'm only going to be there for 1 week, and it's going to be pretty packed. But I will let people know when I'm in Seattle. And if you're in Seattle, reach out to me, message me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. I'd love to meet.
When are you coming back?
I'll be the week after that. But then 2 weeks after that, I have to go to Korea.
I'm sorry, what date will you be back?
I'll be back on September the 9th or 10th.
Okay, September 10th. September 9th is a Saturday. You won't be able to run that day.
Yeah, so I'll be back on the 10th, actually, because of the international dateline. I'll leave on the 9th, but it'll be the next day in Japan when I get here, so it'll be Sunday. So that's going to be out. So it'll be like 2 or 3 weeks before we can do another show.
How about the 16th?
Yeah. I got to go to Korea a little bit after that, but that should be fine. Let's go for the 16th.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Yeah, okay. So tentatively speaking, September 16th will be our next show.
You will be 50 then. It'll be your 50th anniversary.
I better buy some Viagra though. I guess someone in the comments told me it's really good. So.
There you go.
Because I tried Viagra once and it was great. So I don't. And he's 31. He's 31. He's Mr. Boot. He said, "quote I'm 31. I tried Viagra for fun. It's fantastic." How can an erection be more fantastic than on Viagra? I don't understand.
It strikes me as being probably more troublesome than anything else. But
Again, he says try Viagra for fun. It's great.
I can read.
My students did it, and he was upset. He said he had an 8-hour boner, and he was not happy with it.
Well, that's kind of like, yeah. If you had it when you didn't need it, I'm not sure it would actually be all that fun. But
yeah,
you
I
know,
wouldn't want to go to work on that. But.
It's a good thought to leave the show.
All right. Stop the subject. All right.
Well, exactly. This is the problem, Lily Anchor. The problem is that you can't stop, apparently.
Okay. Oh, I see. You just go on forever, and you keep. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's get off the subject.
Okay.
I'm getting uncomfortable, Mr. Boot, and Eric, and so is Luli Yanka. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, we'll see you in the middle of September. Talk to you guys soon.
Keep cool to after school. See ya.
Peace out. Thanks for all the support. Good night.